I really hate fast travel. I mean, when you break it down, fast travel is really the ability to travel from point A to point B in a split second. And if it existed in real life, literally every single person alive would use it. Imagine you could just look at the globe, you spin a globe around and you pick, I'm going here. And all of a sudden you blink and you're there. You just saved hours and hours in travel time, you saved thousands of dollars in plane tickets, and you eliminated all the stress of traveling. So how come it sucks so much in games? I think a lot of that comes down to just how poorly it's implemented. Let me give you an example, okay? This is Elden Ring. Look at the vast landscape of the world. There's enemies, there's points of interest, there's beautiful places to explore and see, there's all sorts of random encounters to run into, there's things to find, there's treasure, there's underground caverns, there's a million possibilities. And yet, imagine if you just close your eyes and all of a sudden you're at the boss. Well, it eliminates the entire need of having that world. Every single interesting thing that's given to you is now suddenly removed because you basically skipped all of it. So what's the point of it being there? And it seems like fast travel exists in these types of games because a lot of people maybe just don't actually care about experiencing those types of things, and they really just want to get through the story. But if that's the case, why are you so addicted to open world games? And why do companies keep making them? I think one of the main issues that people have with fast travel, besides the point that it eliminates basically 50% of the content of the game, is that 50% of the content isn't properly structured. A lot of games that involve fast travel have this open world where there's basically nothing to see, nothing to do, and you're just walking extremely long stretches from one point to another. Yeah, sure, you got this a lot of nice grass to look at, and maybe there's a nice sunset, and maybe there's some nice trees or whatever, but you're not doing anything. You're literally just traveling like as if you were in real life. And that's part of the reason why if fast travel existed in real life, people would use it, is because a lot of times you just want to save some time. But in games, you do want to experience that. Yeah, of course, obviously you don't want to experience such a slowdown, you don't want to be bored, but you want to experience the actual journey. Let's look at Lord of the Rings, for example. Sam and Frodo are on their way to Mount Doom. They got to take the ring and they got to throw it in the fire. Cast the ring into the fire, Isildur! Imagine if literally every single aspect of that story was taken away. You don't learn anything about Aragorn. You don't learn about Gimli and Legolas's friendship. You don't understand how Gandalf becomes Gandalf the Grey and now he's Gandalf the White. Imagine if the hobbits literally left the Shire, you blink, and all of a sudden the story's over and they've thrown the ring into the fire and that's it. Well, what about the journey? What about the emotional beats? What about finding out the reason why I'm here? Having this experience that makes me actually appreciate and enjoy your game. If you remove all that by just having fast travel, it's like literally what is the point? Now, of course, there are very few games that actually understand this and deliver a very good experience while also integrating fast travel. One of those games being Elden Ring. When you look at Elden Ring and there's so much around you, you're able to go in any direction and do whatever you want. Fast travel makes it so that you can get around the world easier, but because of the way that fast travel exists, you're kind of forced to explore things on your own at first before you're given the ability to fast travel between points. You have to find the fast travel point. And it doesn't just lay it out on a map for you to find like it does in other games like Far Cry or whatever. You're actually supposed to explore to find those points. And also, while you're doing that, you're exploring and finding other things. And because the world is so interesting, because there's so many things going on around you, you want to explore. You want to figure out just what the hell is hiding around every corner. What piece of treasure are you going to find? What secret boss are you going to run into? And that's why it does it right. A lot of these other games do it in a way where it's basically just like, yeah, hey, we know this whole open space is basically nothing. Nothing's gonna happen to you. It's just gonna take 20 minutes to get from here to here. So just fast travel through it because why not? But then why make it open world? And then people complain about games that are more finely, tunely spaced, you know what I'm saying? If we compare, let's say Assassin's Creed Valhalla with The Last of Us Part 2, one of those games gives you a ton of ability to just go in any direction you want, take the story wherever you want to go, but you're kind of doing things for no reason unless you want to collect 1,000,000 pelts or whatever and upgrade your armor. But it's giving you basically nonsense for no reason. Whereas The Last of Us 2 is so finely crafted, every aspect of it is perfected and it leads you on this amazing journey. It doesn't waste your time with nonsense because there's no reason for it. Where a lot of these open world games, they know that there's no reason. They're just giving you the option anyway, and then people just blast right through it because they're bored. There's nothing going on. And then even the games where there is something going on, like Oblivion, half of the time, like in Oblivion and Skyrim, it's the same few interactions repeated. Yeah, there's occasional things that blow you away and they're amazing, but they happen so infrequently that you're just like, What's the point of going up and down these roads 20 times? There is no point. And that's why people fast travel through them. So while I realistically hate fast travel, it's more like I hate the implementation of fast travel. If you look at Tears of the Kingdom, all right? Tears of the Kingdom gives you fast travel points by giving you those spires, just like it did in Breath of the Wild. And then it also lets you fast travel to the shrines. I think realistically though, if they wanted to make their fast travel experience better, they should just remove the ability to fast travel to the shrines. You can only fast travel to those towers, and through the rest of the time, you have to explore. But that's okay, because that world gives you a reason for exploring. There are so many possible things to run into, you want to explore it. And yeah, sure, you're probably also gonna say like, oh, in real life though, things sometimes don't happen. You just go out for a walk, nothing happens. Yeah, that's true. But there's a difference between being entertained in a game and being entertained in real life. When you're just walking somewhere, you're not expecting a bear to come out of the woods so that you can tackle the bear and get into this and you have to blah, 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 blah. Like, that's unrealistic. And yeah, I know you're gonna say, well, it's unrealistic for it to happen in a game. Every time you're traveling in a game, something's just gonna happen? No, not necessarily something's gonna happen, but maybe out of the corner of your eye, something's gonna catch your attention and you're gonna go, you know what? Instead of just heading down this road, I'm gonna go this way and I'll go see what's going on here and then I'll swivel on back and I'll come back to where I gotta go. But that thing over there, that thing's really grabbing my eye. I think that realistically what needs to happen is that these open world games need to give you more of a reason to actually explore their open worlds. In Ghost of Tsushima, there was a lot of things going on and the world just looked beautiful. So you were more willing to just travel around it to find what's going on before you went to the next story point. Even though it kind of really wanted you to go to those story points and it made them very obvious that this is where you're supposed to go, it was very easy to go off track and just do whatever. Same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. You were totally fine just making your own way, figuring out whatever you want to do because there was a reason. You weren't just walking through an empty forest for no reason, just to kill time before you got to the next story event. In those kind of games, there's no reason for an open world almost. And in those kind of games, fast travel realistically works because it's just better than actually experiencing the rest of the game. But I think the times where I hate fast travel is when the game is presenting me with so many things, presenting everybody with so many choices. And instead of actually enjoying those potential opportunities, people would rather just click on a teleporter and teleport past it and then complain online, this game doesn't have enough things to do. This game was only 10 hours. And you look online, it's like the average time to beat everything is like 200 hours. I think games just need to implement a better system. Give people a reason to experience and see your world, and we don't have to fast travel through it. Traveling in a game should be exciting, should be thrilling, should be beautiful, should be something that you enjoy and gives you a purpose for these open worlds. It's kind of like I hate open worlds more than I hate fast traveling, but it's more like I just hate really shitty open worlds. And I hate too frequent fast travel. Improve your system, guys.